Welcome back. This is Ritto here with another Terraria Calamity Let's Play episode. We are doing Death Mode, and we are playing as a rogue class. Last episode we defeated the Devourer of Gods, and we got some new weapons right here. We've got some Cosmolite, and we've got some new accessories. Lots of good stuff. We need to probably defeat the Devourer of Gods once or twice more so we can finish upgrading all of our gear. We also have a few other bosses to fight this episode, like the Old Duke, and I know a lot of people like to fight the Old Duke before the Devourer of Gods, but I kind of felt like skipping them this playthrough. But we're going to go back and fight the Old Duke, and I also want to try fighting the Nighttime Providence and see how that goes. But first, let's start by fighting the Ravager. This is actually a boss that gets upgraded after fighting the Moon Lord, and it's a lot stronger now. You can see it's taken a ton of damage, and we got to be pretty careful. But once when we defeat it, we'll be able to get an item that's required to craft the core of the Blood God, which is a really good accessory. With the Executioner's Blade, we can do pretty easy work against this boss. Yep, it homes in, does so much damage. And I love that the Executioner's Blade doesn't lag. It's very smooth, very easy to use. Ooh, we ran right into that. Well, we've taken a few extra hits, but good thing we've got lots of good gear now. And almost there. There we go. We've got our geode here, which has lots of good materials in it, and then we've got the Blood Flare core, and I think that's the thing we were needing. So the core of the Blood God does some pretty cool stuff. It increases damage reduction by 5%, increases damage by 7%. The best part about this item is that every 20 seconds it will cut the contact damage of an enemy in half, and it also boosts health by 10%, so it's pretty powerful. Although we're starting to get a ton of really good accessories, so it's hard to pick which ones we want to use, but it's good to have lots of options. The other one I wanted to do is upgrade our Seraph Tracers. So all we need to do is find our Hollowed Biome, which is just right over here, and we need to fight Daytime Providence, and that should give us wings. So that'll be a pretty easy fight now that we've gotten so many good upgrades. So let's summon Providence and just do a ton of damage really quick. Ooh, we still need to be careful on this part of the fight. And we already got the other guys that just spawned, the Guardians. And we're almost done. Man, this weapon is so nice. And that's all we needed, the Elysian Wings. So now we can put away our Seraph Tracers, and we should be able to upgrade those to the Elysian Tracers. Really awesome. So the main thing about these Elysian Tracers is that they give us a lot more horizontal speed and acceleration, and also some more flight time. So it's pretty dang good. You can see we're already moving quite quickly. So now I think it's time to fight the Devourer of Gods once more. And we can use some of our new weapons to see how they work. This one you gotta kind of lead the enemy a little bit, because otherwise it'll do body hits. But if these can land head hits, they do pretty dang good. So let's go ahead and put on our adrenaline, do some extra damage there. There we go. The Executioner's Blade isn't really that much better than the Phantasmal Ruin. It actually, I think, might be a little bit worse because the Phantasmal Ruin has a lot more range, whereas this Executioner Blade, you have to wait for him to get within a certain distance before it'll start homing and doing good damage. But it makes it lag-free and a lot more fun to do that boss fight. And we've got another treasure bag, so let's see what we got here. Ooh, we got the rogue weapon. So this one shoots lasers, pretty sweet. It's called the Eradicator. But most importantly, we got more Cosmolite. So hopefully now we will have enough to craft the full set of Godslayer armor. So here's the chest plate, and already we're out of Cosmolite. Oh no. Well, for time's sake, I'm gonna go buy another treasure bag because I think we do have the gold for it. Okay, so now we can craft the Godslayer Rogue Mask and the legs. And let's see the difference between these two armor sets. We've got 231 defense, and we have 1,877 rogue damage and 110 critical strike chance. So our defense dropped to 214, but our damage went up to 1,949, and our critical strike chance went up by 6%. So it's a pretty good trade-off. Plus, the added defense that we get from the set bonus on this armor is only active if we're above a certain health. So this will be probably more defense in the long run if we take some damage. So the cool thing about the Godslayer armor is that it will revive you up to 150 health if you die, and that effect will refresh every 45 seconds. And the next thing we can craft is the Nanotech, which is one of the best accessories for the Rogue class. It's the combination of the Rogue Emblem, the Raider's Talisman, the Moonstone Crown, the Electrician's Glove, and Ascendant Spirit Essence. One of the really cool things about this accessory is it makes all rogue projectiles create nanoblades as they travel, and then rogue weapons have a chance to instantly kill normal enemies. It does 12% increase in rogue damage and 15% increased rogue velocity. Whenever you crit an enemy with a rogue weapon, your rogue damage increases, and it says this effect can stack up to 150 times, and the max rogue damage boost is 10%. So during a long boss fight, you will get so much extra damage from using this. And at this point, we may be able to switch this out for the Heart of the Elements, because I'm not sure how good the Heart of the Elements is at this point in the game. Now that we've got all the gear that we need, I think it's time to head on over to the Sulphurous Sea, and we can start up an Acid Rain event. And now we can get lots of these new items from this event. The main thing is going to be fighting and defeating the old Duke, and I think that's going to be pretty tricky, but we've got a lot better gear than when you normally would fight him, so I think we should be fine. We're definitely making quick work of all of these enemies. So I'm trying out some of our new weapons, and these are pretty sweet. I love that this thing shoots so many lasers. And I just realized we forgot to craft more of the God's Paranoia, so we need to go back and do that. That might actually be a really good thing to use against the old Duke. So I think what I've decided is I want to use a Zerg potion, and that way we can really get this going and get tons of enemies. Oh my gosh, this is getting crazy. So many projectiles all over the screen. And one cool thing is that now that we've got the nanotech, we can instantly kill a lot of these enemies because we've got that ability now. Well, we got the old Duke spawning now, so we got to be really careful. This boss fight is so tricky. One of the reasons why I skipped this was because I remember how hard it was on Magnus. Even after the Devourer of Gods, it's a pretty hard fight. But such a cool song. This and Astrum Arias is my favorite songs in the game. They're just so cool. Well, we're actually doing better than I remember doing on Magnus. Although we are getting pretty close to dying here, unfortunately. And that's fine that we died on the old Duke. It's going to probably take quite a few attempts because I'm really just not very experienced with that boss. But I did craft some more God's Paranoia, and you can see it does 80,000 damage per second as it hits its peak. So we're back in the Sulphurous Sea, and let's give this a try. Maybe let's try this God's Paranoia. And then we'll switch back and try this out again. I don't know if it's doing as much damage as I would hope. Well, we got down to 4% there. I just need to get better at doing the dodges. And here we go again. I think we're getting a little bit better at this fight. It's just about knowing when to dodge. If you dodge too early, it will know where you're going, and it will predict your movement and everything. So you just got to be really careful about it. There we go, we got him. That is so surprisingly hard for post-Devourer of Gods. But we did it, and we just got the old Duke lore. It says to favorite the item to convert negative effects from the Acid Rain debuff to positive effects. That's pretty cool. And let's take a look at what we got in the treasure bag. Ooh, we got the rogue weapon. Yes, excellent. So this apparently is pretty good if you get it before the Devourer of Gods. And we got the old Duke scales, which gives us some benefits when we're under a damage debuff effect. It's kind of cool. So what I found was best was to keep him kind of on the edge of the screen, and once when he starts to dash at me, then I do a dash in the opposite direction, and he'll go right past you, because he's already decided on the direction he'll dash. So you want to kind of wait for him to decide where you're going to be, and then be somewhere different. Because if you kind of are just dashing around and moving around, even if you use your mount or something like that, he'll just target you and dash and collide with you. And once when you learn that, the fight's not too bad because the biggest source of damage is really that contact damage from those charges that he does. And the last thing I want to do is try fighting Providence at night. Well, let's get this fight going and see how well we can do. I know this is going to be quite the challenge because these attacks all do a lot more damage, and I don't think the armor we've got is really going to make that big of a difference. We just got to be really good at dodging and survive. Whoa, taking a lot of damage there. We did get adrenaline briefly, but we missed it now. Okay, well, we actually didn't get hit by those. That was excellent. So I've been doing a few attempts on Providence, trying to do this nighttime Providence. It's actually still quite hard, even after having defeated the Devourer of Gods and getting better weapons and stuff, because it has a ton of damage resistance, and the damage it can pump out is crazy. There we go. And we'll do some adrenaline and keep this fight going. We're getting so close. We cannot afford to get hit by little fireballs like that. 11 seconds away from a heal. And 4%, man, that was close. Each time we do this, we're learning a little bit more about the fight and the mechanics, learning how to dodge these attacks a little bit better. And this boss has a damage resistance mechanism that basically makes any of your weapons pretty much perform the same. So we're not doing extra damage, really. We might be doing a little bit, but we're doing about the same we would be doing if we were fighting this right after the Moon Lord. Because if I was doing normal Providence right now, you would see I would do this much quicker. Uh-oh. That's a mistake there, we got kind of pinned down, but luckily we can discord out of there. And this part is always stressful. I know if you run, you can do it pretty easily, but sometimes I've kind of dashed and it'll get us off our normal kind of routine there. Okay, another adrenaline. Ooh, that was close. And let's just try to get around here, get away from those attacks. Once again, we're in a good position for this. Right here, I find it's just better to focus on dodging. I don't really like to have stuff cluttering my screen. And we'll just switch sides here. And more adrenaline, thank goodness. The best way to dodge those is just to get as much distance as you can, and then they spread out quite a bit and they're easier to dodge. Okay, not a good angle, but we can do it. We just need to not get hit by too many more. Okay, that wasn't bad. Wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. Okay, we're in a perfect position. Oh no, we got hit by 2. Not good. We still got her. Yes! We defeated Nighttime Providence. There we go. And we got the Profaned Moonlight die. That was quite fun. It's definitely challenging even with the gear we've got right now. We've got the Profaned Moonlight die on. That looks pretty sweet. And I think that's a great place to end this episode. We defeated the Old Duke, we defeated Nighttime Providence, and we upgraded a ton of items and even fought the Devourer of Gods again. And next episode, we're going to be able to fight Yaren, the Jungle Dragon. So between episodes, I'm going to create a Yaren arena, so we'll be ready to go for that fight. If you're enjoying this series, be sure to like and subscribe so you can catch the next episode. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.